What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman. I hope those of you who stayed up extra late watching your digital copy of Avengers Endgame are feeling recovered this morning. We actually have a full Phase 5 slate leak, and I'm not surprised considering how much information we've already gotten about Phase 5, especially from Marvel themselves. This one came with some dates attached. We're going to briefly touch on all the properties, including some titles that are interestingly omitted from this list. We're also going to break down a couple of the implications from what Marvel has already said. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we're giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, the next of which is at the 500,000 subscriber mark. All you have to do, grab the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. I'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so quickly, full disclosure and or the normal spoiler warning, if this is going to somehow ruin the D23 Phase 5 slate announcement you don't yet know that you're getting, back out now, and or remember guys, take this with a grain of salt. Nothing's official until it's actually announced by Marvel, and as is the case with every leak, better off taken as maybe a logical roadmap you can either agree or disagree with, which is exactly what we're going to do here today. Speaking of which, this seems to imply that Marvel will only release 7 properties over the 2 years that make up Phase 5, starting with Blade in February of 2022. 7 properties is still a ton to put out in 24 months, and this does make sense considering Blade was the only title included with the rest of the Phase 4 slate announcement, which must imply that they're further along in pre-production with this than a lot of the others, even considering the script for Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is done. James Gunn just recently said publicly he's got to finish Suicide Squad 2 before he can come back to that. The next movie on the slate is 2022 in May, Captain Marvel 2, which immediately had me asking, really? Captain Marvel gets her sequel before Black Panther? But then that was just a little too soon, as the movie right after that in November of 2022 would be Black Panther 2 as well. This slate kind of makes sense. You put Blade out first, it's the new property, you test run that in February, as has been their MO with both Captain Marvel and Black Panther in the past 2 years running, and then you go ahead and run out the sequels to very popular franchises. Both movies made over $1 billion and are probably set to do the same with their sequels. Plus, there's probably an agenda with the Skrulls that they want to go ahead and push while that's still fresh, if they're truly leading up to some sort of secret invasion in the end of Phase 4 or the beginning of Phase 5, and I could see them wanting to get to that. We also have some details about Black Panther 2 already, that Ryan Coogler has started the script. That was from the same interview that Kevin Feige went ahead and debunked any rumors about Michael B. Jordan's return, saying that was completely hilarious. There's no script yet, so no one can be returning. We don't even have a story. This leads right into 2023, when we'll finally get Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which, if it's true, according to this, will be in February of that year, and gives James Gunn just right at 3.5 years to shoot and finish Suicide Squad 2, and then shoot and finish Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which would be a tall order, but as I said moments ago in this video, he's already finished the script some long time ago. I'm sure the story is well aged at this point. He knows exactly what's going to happen, and given how seasoned he is behind the camera, I'm thinking that might be a rather fast process. I think this is more than enough time for them to get this out, and also given the earliest rumors about how much of an architect role this was supposed to play in setting up the cosmic universe, with the definite introduction of not only Adam Warlock but perhaps Beta Ray Bill as well, if that won't happen in Thor 4. They don't want to sleep on this movie too long. Marvel Studios has to go ahead and set up these characters unless they want to introduce Adam Warlock much later, as is we're already getting him in the middle of Phase 5 almost 4 years from now. This continues by saying that the blockbuster, the huge hit here, the big banger on the schedule is May of 2023, Fantastic Four. That would be, like I said, almost 4 years from now. Enough time for them to draft a script, hire a director, cast the entire crew, shoot that thing, do the VFX, and then introduce the Fantastic Four into the MCU. Now, I've often said in the past about people who like to quote-unquote leak things that the smartest leakers only capitalize on the purchase power of the most recent announcements and then mock it all up quickly to make it look like this is what's coming, when there's enough proof out there to support it. And given what Kevin Feige said about the Fantastic Four and the murmurs that we got just a week ago about how they may be introduced, even though that was dressed up as a leak, it's really just a fan theory. How the Fantastic Four would have worked with Hank Pym back in the 60s and gotten stuck in the quantum realm. Guys, Hank Pym would have definitely said something about 4 other people being stuck down there outside of Janet Van Dyne. she probably would have said something too while they were down there, unless they got trapped on there on their own volition, which may end up being the case, but again, just a fan theory. Either way, the Fantastic Four is set to make their debut in the MCU on not only the heels of the words that Kevin Feige said, but the reacquisition of the property and them not wanting to sleep too long on using the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. We know one of them is going to be put into slight retirement, that being the X-Men franchise, making perfect room for the Fantastic Four. Now, it says there'll be 2 more releases in 2023. The first of which in the summer is an unreleased TV series for the Disney streaming service under Marvel Studios. The second of which is in 2023 November, Deadpool 3. This comes just 72 hours after Ryan Reynolds himself took to Instagram to say, hey, the investigation is into its 5th year as to who leaked the footage that I know I leaked myself, or as I like to call it, Phase 5, trying to tell the whole world that Deadpool 3 would be coming in Phase 5. And I've also mentioned this several times in the past, the same way they want to get to Captain Marvel and Black Panther, they have a new billion-dollar franchise. And it's crazy to think how diverse and crowded the MCU has gotten literally overnight with the Fox acquisition. But hey, that's how you end up getting announcements like we just got, where you have 11 properties, 10 in just the next 24 months alone. Speaking of diverse, Taika Waititi has thrown his name in the hat as wanting to direct Deadpool, and I personally would love to see the Taika Waititi Deadpool movie. Also, if you haven't heard the latest on that, it will still be Ryan Reynolds Deadpool, but the newest rumor is that it will just be a different iteration of the character. Ryan Reynolds playing Deadpool in the MCU, but not the same Ryan Reynolds Deadpool that we got in the Fox iterations. I'm sure he's going to have some things to say about that in his dialogue. Now, as I mentioned earlier in this video, it's not the inclusion of certain titles that's so exciting like the Fantastic Four, but there's some interesting exclusions here, not just things like Nova and other movies that we thought were coming, but specifically a new Avengers title, which we definitely thought was coming. And I've said here at the channel, I've been on strong record saying, hey, don't let the most popular thing in the world fade away. And since we've already confirmed there'll be no new Avengers movie in the next 2 years with Phase 4, and if this is correct in Phase 5, saying the 2 years after that won't contain a new installment for the franchise as well, then it may be almost 5 years before we get a new Avengers title in the MCU, which to me is incredibly suspicious, because not only do the higher-ups at Disney like Bob Iger not want an MCU without an Avengers franchise installment, but I don't think the brass at Marvel Studios like Kevin Feige want to do that either. They've put so much time and energy into the Avengers franchise, and no matter what direction it goes in, New Avengers, Young Avengers, Dark Avengers, you want to continue their thread and through line throughout the MCU. It's been the strongest through line since. And speaking of strong through lines, there's some other omissions here, not in the way of new titles, but old as well, like Spider-Man. You don't see his new movie anywhere near this, and to think it would be 5 years almost before we'd get Spider-Man 3, also considering there's rights tied up with Sony there, they definitely want Tom Holland and Spider-Man back into their Venomverse as quickly as possible. I don't think they want to wait another 5 years to resolve that contract. And could it be that this is the way that it goes down, and that there's no new Spider-Man Tom Holland movie in the MCU again, that we only see him in Sony? God, I don't even want to think about that, but it would be weird for them not to put out Spider-Man 3 for another 5 years. Guys, this is what you get when the MCU gets this crowded. That's why we've got so many announcements coming with Phase 4 alone. That's why they're going to have completely packed schedules, no more than 3 movies a year, maybe 4 movies a year. There's room for it. There's definitely enough titles for them to power them out, and certainly no lack of demand for them to do so. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments about this Phase 5 slate leak. Do you think it's real? Do you think some aspects are? Do you think it could be a good logical roadmap? Are there any titles here you think absolutely need to be included, like a new Avengers or Spider-Man 3? Or are some titles on here that you think don't need to be included, like Captain Marvel 2 or even Deadpool 3? Would you rather them get to a new Avengers or a Secret Invasion Avengers instead of some of those titles? Like I said, let me know in the comments, and quickly let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Alright, we're still giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, the next of which is at 500,000 subscribers. All you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video. We're also down to the last 2 days to enter my Spotify giveaway for the PlayStation 4 Pro. We'll be announcing that here on the channel on Friday. All you have to do for that is follow the description and the comments down below. There's a link. If you have a Spotify account, great. If you don't, it's free to make one. All you have to do, follow my account, Allfires, screenshot that, then send the screenshot to everythingalwaysYT@gmail.com. We're going to close that at 10,000. We're almost there. We're going to close it on Friday, whether we hit 10,000 or not. If you want to jump through some extra hoops, it'll greatly boost your odds of winning a PlayStation 4 Pro. Also, there's a good chance if you're still watching this video at the 9:44 mark that you're part of the EA crew and have been rocking with me for a while. My buddy Dolo Tonight just launched his YouTube page. Rap may not be your thing, and that's cool, but if you could go over to his page, I'm going to link his video right here. If you could just pop over there, give him a watch, give him a like, throw him a sub at his channel. When you're starting off on YouTube, that kind of stuff makes a huge difference, and it would mean the world to me. My name is Michael Roman. This is Everything Always. Guys, thanks for checking out the channel, and stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.